There's a point in everyone's jiu-jitsu journey where things get weird. You're no longer a beginner, but you don't feel great. You know a lot more than you used to, but somehow you're getting caught more, second guessing more, and maybe even enjoying it a little less. White belts are improving fast, upper belts feel untouchable, and for the first time you start to wonder, am I actually getting worse? This is what some people call the blue belt blues. And today, we're going to argue something a little different. This isn't a slump. It's maybe the most important phase in your entire jiu-jitsu journey. Because what feels like confusion is actually the beginning of understanding. Today, the blue belt blues.
Nice. Welcome to the Black and Blue podcast. My name is Travis, Canadian tree stump Emmett, black belt, blue belt, and yeah, this one might touch the heart a little bit over there.
There's going to be tears, pleading,
you know, blood, sweat, and tears. All we got is sweating and tears.
Yeah.
No blood yet.
Yeah, no blood yet. No blood yet.
Unless it's mine after that. It's like, give me my purple.
Give it to me. So what's your description of blue belt blues? Does that kind of suit it, what I was saying there?
I think so. I think that it's an accurate depiction of what a lot of people go through. I see it somewhat differently being beyond it, but I remember being at that blue belt phase and going, my goodness, like the white belts there seem to learn a lot more. One thing that was kind of a good thing for me was I was teaching at that point. Like I was already running the club. So in my mind, I already had to be like studying everything, competing all the time, and just trying to stay ahead of the curve. So maybe my blue belt blues, my personal, wasn't quite as much as some other people I know, but I know that it happens and I see it in a lot of people, and that's probably like the number 3 or 4 reason why blue belts quit.
That's the number 3 or 4?
Yeah.
What are the other ones?
I would say the absolute number 1 reason why blue belts quit is
they get their blue belt.
Yeah, they've made their achievement, right? They set one simple goal of, I want to get my blue belt. And then once they get it, they're like, okay, well, I got it. Now what? Another big one is once you get your blue belt, as long as it's like not one of those McDojo kind of things where they're like, oh yeah, you've attended 100 classes, here's your blue belt, which is absolute bullshit. If it's an actual club that wants to rate your skill and like kind of determines by other blue belts in the area, in competitions or whatever it is, you see them get their blue belt and their confidence has risen to a new level.
Right.
Usually you come into it and your confidence, well, if it's high at white belt, it's just getting beaten up over and over and over and it's getting crushed. But then once you get that blue belt, you're like, oh, I'm kind of good at this. And you start to feel pretty confident. That confidence leads to, let's say, a relationship. And then once that relationship hits, they're like, okay, well, I'm still going to make it to class at least 2 times a week. Maybe 3. And then it's like, okay, well, I'm still going to go once a week. And then it's like, oh, well, why am I paying the membership if I'm only going once a week? So then they're like, well, I guess I'll just do drop-ins. And then they're just...
I guess the other thing could be, too, if the point of you getting that far was to learn how to defend yourself, you can defend yourself against most people at that point.
Yeah, and I think that's the goal. Yeah. Like that initial, I made my blue belt, I should be able to defend myself.
Yeah.
Against most people, I'm good. And then they're done.
So let's talk a little bit about the difference between white belt, blue belt, purple belt. So a couple things that I've kind of like jotted down here are, I think, based around techniques, for example. So at white belt, you're kind of just collecting techniques. At blue belt, you start connecting techniques. And then purple belt, you're able to express them fluidly. So you're able to connect them, chain them. You're doing them correctly. They're working.
Yeah.
That must be nice. And so rather than I know a sweep. It's a blue belt is kind of like I have a sequence, and then at purple belt, it's like I have a few sequences and I can turn those into a plan.
Yep.
Does that sound right?
I'd say that's accurate when you're looking at the technique side of things and looking at that. For our blue belts, it's one, you need to have the skill to be able to defend yourself against an untrained person kind of thing. And you kind of see that as they're rolling with the newer white belts, right? Once they start getting to that blue belt level, like that 4-stripe white, they should be able to handle that brand new white belt that came in.
Right.
And then I do want to see solid fundamentals, bridging, shrimping, and that's what our blue belt techniques kind of go over. As well as like the understanding of what's going on, and breathing, right? And being able to go, okay, this is a bad situation, but I can breathe. I'm not dying. Then at purple belt, I want to see going from like, well, like even during the blue belt, I want to see you start to be able to understand those techniques, understand why you're doing what you're doing, and then kind of start to play a solid defensive game.
So for listeners, why don't you give a good example of white belt knowledge of something versus blue belt and purple belt knowledge of a specific move or scenario?
Okay. So like let's take a basic mount escape.
Okay.
Right. One at like that white belt level, you're learning, okay, I need to move my legs this way, I need to trap an arm, and then I need to bridge.
Right.
I know those terms, right? And then blue belt, you're like, okay, I need to shut down their post, which is their arm on the mat, right? So I need to shut that down, because if I don't, it's not going to work. So they need to pull in that arm. Okay, now I need to shut down the potential post of their leg. So I need to trap their leg one way or another, right? And then at purple belt, it's like, okay, I'm going to get this mount escape. I'm going to bridge and roll them. And then I'm going to turn that into a knee slice so I don't have to deal with close guard, right? They're planning a few steps ahead rather than being like just that base movement. We're looking at what's happening after that base movement, because they have that skill set where they're going to get that.
Right. Okay.
And then brown belts just do whatever they want at some point to like white belts and blue belts. And then like they're getting good enough. Usually they got a belly on them. And then, yeah, that's kind of, I want to see like brown belts have like a great teaching ability throughout all and have a good understanding of what we're doing here.
Right.
Whether they have it as there's so many different ways to express how you know jujitsu and how to express it to someone else. My way of expressing and teaching jujitsu is different than Carter's, is different than everyone else's. Like everyone should have their own little thing. And I'm here, I want to like teach athletes, I want to teach teenagers, old people, whoever it is, but by the time like they're good blue, purple, brown, they should be able to teach a class and not be like, oh, and answer questions if they arise. Maybe not all of them. I don't know all the answers. I might have some ideas, but if they say they know all the answers, they're bullshitting you. That's if an instructor tells you, oh yeah, I know all of it, it's like you're bullshitting and you need to
having taught some kids classes and one adult class, I know that even as well used as you know something, you're instantly right off the bat, you're going to get a question that you don't know the answer to. It's going to, like, what if I do this? No idea.
Yeah. And you have to have the ego about you enough, or understanding of your ego, where you have to be like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
We can play around, but I don't know.
Yeah. So in your mind, why do most blue belts, or why do some blue belts feel stuck? Like, I feel like, at least in my own case, you go up and down. There's times where you have, it's good days, bad days, hammer or nail. but I think there's a few traps that you can fall into, like trying to learn everything and master nothing. A big one I think is when you get caught in kind of the trap of rolling reactively, which we've talked about. Rolling reactively, not rather than trying to implement your game plan and like be proactive. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of different reasons why they get stuck. One of the main ones is they just they stop setting a goal for themselves. They stop looking at it as an art that's ever expansive. They're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I kind of know that. Yeah, okay, I kind of know that. A lot of them will just kind of dwell on that rather than being like, what is this like crux position? What is this deep half? And then like get interested. You need to spark that imagination again every time. Every single time you feel like you're in that rut or hitting that plateau and you're like just coasting along, find something that intrigues your imagination, that intrigues your soul to go, oh yeah, I kind of want to know more about that. Maybe your club doesn't do lots of leg locks. Dive into it. Maybe your club doesn't do this. And like, I've had people really dive into like front headlocks and start to learn way more than what I know. And I think that that's the greatest thing ever, right? I think that's the coolest thing about it is I dedicated a lot of my time to leg locks and triangle chokes.
Yeah.
And like mount escapes. Now, like beyond blue, purple, and brown kind of thing, I started delving into other things because I found interest in them. So I would say a lot of the problem is a lack of interest or a lack of direction. So when someone comes to me and they're like, hey, I feel like I'm in a rut, I feel like I'm stuck, I'm like, oh, what are you working on? What do you want to play with? What are you thinking about? And if they don't give me something, I'm like, okay, well, let's look at this. Let's look at like getting into a dogfight position. Let's look at deep half and give them something that has a crazy amount of knowledge out there and a crazy amount of things that they can just go on YouTube and look at. And then they can be like, oh, this is intriguing.
And how do you, like in my case, I've gotten to a couple points where you were like, okay, work on half guard. And then it was Kimura trap systems. And there's been a couple other ones along the way. Tapping, like we talked about.
Yeah, tapping.
I'm like probably the best one.
You got the best tap.
I'm
pretty sure.
And I use it all the time. So, but like, how do you base those recommendations on ability, body type, attitude?
Yeah, I body type is a big one. I'm very, I watch so much jujitsu and MMA and all this stuff. Like that's it used to be entertainment for me. Now it's like studying, and I like to study that. I love it. And then when I see something happening at like say UFC, BJJ, or any of these other ones, or ADCC, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I bet, and that person kind of looks like Emmett, that like same height, body type, whatever it is. But they're like, okay, that looks like it would work really well for this person. So I plant a seed. I'm like, hey, dive that arm a little bit more, do this a little bit more, and hopefully it sparks something in the person to be like, oh, that worked.
Yeah,
and then hopefully it kind of progresses from there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I feel a good coach should do, should spark interest.
Yeah.
And
maybe know you well enough to be like, this specific thing might appeal to you.
Yeah. Know your students. There's so many clubs out there where they wouldn't know the name of the person, of blue belts that they've promoted. And it's crazy to me. Like, and I see that a lot and I hear it a lot. And it's sad to hear that a head coach who's given you a belt because you've been there for however long doesn't even know your name. Like, that's brutal.
And then so along with that idea of like, work on this. I think there's two things there. One is getting out of that mindset of there's too much out there. There's too much out there. I don't know what to focus on. Like, I'm just I'm learning a little bit in this class, and then I'm just rolling, and then you can float. You could float forever in jiu-jitsu and never really like master anything. So I think there's something about kind of giving people a bit of tunnel vision to help them focus on something. And then the other thing I think is maybe, excuse me, like helping them, if you're doing it the right way as a coach, helping them kind of carve out their own identity so they have something almost like an ideal version of themselves to look forward to and be like, oh, I'm that guy.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to explain it. And it should fall down on a coach or a higher belt or someone to like guide you to the next step. One of the coolest things is like Jonah, right? He's hitting arm bars from everywhere, and I don't teach many arm bars. Like I'll show them, and I know enough about arm bars. I just don't. I should probably teach more, and I think I've said this before, but I mean, it's not my go-to. I've hit one arm bar or two arm bars in my entirety of like 12 years of doing this, or 13 years or whatever it is now. But he's hitting them from everywhere, and then like we just tweak little things, and he's getting really good at them. And I think that's the beauty of it, that you can just be like, boom, here's something that you're really liking, that you're into. Let's expand upon it. Look at this guy, like watch whoever it is and really dive into it. I think that's the coolest thing that you can do for anyone.
Jonah triangled me the other day.
Oh man.
I had nothing.
His triangle, his arm bar, and then he's getting a really good rear naked choke too.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah. I think that's why my trachea is like constantly sore, because we're doing the MMA thing. And he's just like, guess what? I'm going to jump on your back. Boom. And I'm like, oh man, your bony ass little arms are digging in there. Hurts. It's good though. It's awesome. I love seeing it.
And so another thing that you and I have talked about is a game plan, having a game plan and implementing that game plan for specifically with the, from the perspective of blue belt blues, getting to that transitional state between blue and purple. Explain what a game plan looks like. Not a specific game plan, but what a game plan should look like.
I think, okay, so for myself, I prefer, like, say, a knee slice going one way, and if they give me the other leg, I will jump on a leg lock going the other way.
Like what we were doing tonight.
Yeah, essentially like that. And it's what is my opponent presenting to me, and how do I attack it, or how do I go through it, or how do I defend against it? Have a game plan from not just the move that you're doing, but what comes after that move. And then you're trying to, for me, I relate it to chess, right? We're trying to put them in checkmate. And every little move, say it's a little pawn and you just move it forward one, that's a stage or a step in the direction that you want to go to checkmate.
Right.
I've been told like many different ways. Another way is like you're going down a hallway, and in this hallway, it's full of doors, and you're guiding the person, right? And you're closing the door. You're like, no, can't go that way. That's your game plan. That's your game plan, shutting down one of their defenses. Then they want to go another way, and you close that door, and you're like, no, not that way. And then you eventually get to a point where you're like, hey, look at this door. And you open it up, and you're like, here you go. Walk through that. And it looks inviting. It looks like a happy little, not The Shining, by the way. It looks like a happy room. And like you guide them into that, and then
so not this room when I entered it today.
No. When you just jumped on you from the dark off the shelf. But that's like you're game planning the next move. You're trying to prevent what they want to do, but you have to have the knowledge of what are their options in these positions.
So, okay. In anticipation of this conversation, I looked at a couple options for myself. Okay. And I think
tapping.
Yeah, just tap. Game plan. So tell me if these game plans make sense.
All right.
And I know what I'm not doing here is looking at like alternatives. It's more like here to here to here to here to here.
All right.
And I think that you're
So
talking about sequential game plan. Yeah. Without if then statements in there, right? So half guard to underhook to dogfight, sweep, pass, side control to technical mount to back take to choke.
Yes.
Pass, pressure, side control, technical mount, back take, choke, and or back triangle, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are like I'm in analyzing what my general paths look like.
Yeah.
Ideal paths, that's the ideal sequence.
Yeah.
What we talked about tonight about the dogfight was a major roadblock for me because it's like attempt, fail, attempt, fail, attempt, fail, and then you're just.
And so if you're going from A to F, you're not making it past C, right?
Correct. Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
So that is a game plan, but you're hitting a what if.
Mm-hmm.
What if they are too high? Well, we have to actually attempt the dogfight and get that knee behind them so that I can lift them up. Right. So that's where is, and I wouldn't say that's a branch, or actually I wouldn't even say that's a what if. That's a how do we fully formulate C?
Yeah, totally.
Right now you're the lowercase c. You want the big case. C, and so you can go through.
And that's not the only sequences that I would use. Like, now that we started talking about Kimura traps, like there's other sequences that I would employ, especially because I have been working for so long from half guard that it's like that's the other thing that I was going to mention as a blue belt like focus. I think to get to that purple belt thing is having a home base. Like what's your most comfortable home base position where you can live there and make attack decisions, make defense decisions. And for me, that's at this point half guard. So I have other sequences that I can go to from there, but as an example, that was one to cover.
And I think that's half guard is a great position, both top half and bottom half, to have a good home base in, because that's where most of jiu-jitsu happens, right? A lot of clubs start at like close guard, but I mean, unless they're playing a game, and like Jared ran into this at Submission Ace, the guy that he was against did not want to attempt anything. All he did was close guard and then like pretend to move, and like he did nothing. All he did was like try to tighten that close guard, and like it was obviously pissing Jared off. But I mean, he was doing good at getting out of it, but that guy only wanted to play bottom close guard, and like that sucks. But that's so rare nowadays. Like that's old school. That's people not wanting to play the game.
Taking my ball and I'm going home.
Yeah, pretty much. Like it was, I was like bummed for Jared because he had to fight him in both gi and no gi, and I was like, oh, all he's gonna do is do his close guard thing again. And Jared did awesome. He did really good at both, but yeah, it was like you need like that's rare. Close guard is becoming increasingly rare, unless it's gi. Gi, you see it a little bit more, but no gi, it's rare.
It even feels boring to do it.
Oh, man.
When you wind up there as the close guard person, you're like, this sucks.
Like,
boring.
Unless you have a super active cut the angle, get your hips off to the side, and try and get in on a triangle back, whatever it is, awesome. But yeah, you get these people that just sit in it, and you're like, oh, like your eyes start to roll back. It's crazy, but it's rare. Now, half guard, you got to get good at half guard. Why? Because that's where most of jiu-jitsu, the transitions happen, is this half guard kind of situation. And I like both top and bottom half guard. I think it's a great way, one, for me to transition to like leg locks if I'm on top or bottom. And it's a great way to get to the back on both occasions too.
And, I'm actually realizing that both the questions I asked tonight in the advanced class, both had to do with like getting to a part of that chain where it's like, because the other one
Just
was
separate instances.
well, one from the top and one
Yeah.
from the bottom.
Yeah.
Right. And the one from the top, what I asked was, how do you, if you're in top half and the person is really strong and they're just basically, they just keep sucking you into regarding, what, you know, what's the method to stop that from happening, to get back into either top half or full side control?
Yeah.
Right. And then from there, technical mount, back take, choke, or rear triangle, or armbar, or just Kimura, or Kimura trap into a whole other sequence.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I think like that, even like writing that stuff out felt like a good exercise to me, to be like, okay, where are where are the actual like identifiable and addressable frustrations, rather than I'm feeling frustrated, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
And then you quit.
and then I probably wouldn't do that,
Yeah.
but
that's where
I
a
got a
lot
podcast
of
to think about.
Yeah, I know, right? Super like
just
prominent
driving revenue. You know?
Yeah, look at all the revenue. But I think that's where like the frustration builds, and then either they don't talk or it's not recognized by a coach,
Right.
and it's just like, okay, well, that sucks.
Yeah, it'd be not being recognized by coach would be,
Yeah,
that would suck. If you're just sort of like, I got to go on Chat GPT and figure out my jiu-jitsu game. Like,
and that does happen. It's a lot of it, but that's those like big gyms that nobody knows anyone else, or they have their little cliques and nobody's allowed in them.
Is there something to be said for like, so here's how I was initially looking at that specific, I'll go to specifics for a larger point here, but like I was looking at coming into dogfight as like, I guess I just need to really try harder rather than like, oh, I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a mistake that people make?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and that's where one, they either go, well, this doesn't work, right? What he showed doesn't work for me, doesn't work for my body, or just doesn't work at all. Or they just get so frustrated that they just drop it entirely without asking a question.
Right.
And that happens. It happens quite often. I came up in a time when like YouTube didn't have that much stuff on there, but it had enough where you could kind of like figure stuff out, and then instructionals. But I was like reading magazines, like BJJ magazines.
Yeah.
And learning through pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah. There's nothing more frustrating than looking for resources for something and not knowing if it's accurate.
Yeah.
You know, like,
there's so much bullshit out there.
When I used to do like coding and stuff like that, and you'd be like, okay, I legitimately have to solve a complex problem and I need a resource to help solve that problem. And you'd look at it, you start reading it, and you're like, I don't know, man, this doesn't sound right. I don't feel like I should go down this path, because I'll spend 8 hours on this only to find that this is not going to solve the problem.
Dude,
you know?
That's like Instagramming, and you see it, and like you see a movie, you're like, huh, is that kind of what I'm working on? That doesn't look legit. And
yeah.
Like, I don't know what happened to my algorithm, but I keep getting like all these like likes on this one comment, because there's this like bullshito looking club where he like lays down, traps the guy's leg between his like scissors, the guy's leg, and like somehow takes him down. And the guy's like tapping furiously because he's, I don't even like, and I'm like, what did I do to deserve this on my algorithm? And that one comment has like over like 1,200 likes.
That's awesome.
And it's just on some dude's video that has like I don't know, it's just horrible. But after I left that one comment, like the views on that, it was at like 100 when I saw it. Now it's at like 20,000.
What's crazy is that, man, I'll get stuff in there that I'm like, I think I'm watching a McDojo, like that channel's called McDojo, right? That guy's account. I love that guy. And like, but sometimes the stuff will come up and I'm like, oh, this is a McDojo clip,
Yeah.
and it's actually like a guy pretending to be legit and being like
pretending.
or like doing it, but
Yeah.
just sucks, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And you're
There's
like,
so many of
oh,
those.
this is you just like advertising your services. This isn't like McDojo making fun of you. This is holy shit. You're just promoting this as a real thing.
Yeah, you think that actually works.
Oh my god, that's fucking
that
crazy.
whole like rear naked choke, and then all they do is pull the back of their own head down, and their chin is supposed to dig into the person's arm. It hurts them so much that they just let
I
go.
tell you from experience, that doesn't work.
Yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, how do you have, and like the worst part is you see these students and you're like, oh
Yeah,
you are the
paying money,
Yeah.
believing in that person.
but the students, just the way that they look, those are the ones in society that actually need a legit martial art, because they're probably getting bullied, and then they get this shit that is going to lead them down horrible paths of just getting beaten up, and they're like, oh, I know how to defend myself. And then it's like cardio kickboxing. Have you seen that one girl that was like, oh, I could take you on, and she's like one of her friends, and it's this guy, and he has zero training. She has cardio kickboxing training, and she just starts doing like, her hands are down, and she just starts punching like that, and he's like bops her in the nose, and like she just like gushes, like the blood gushes out, and I was like, and it wasn't even a hard punch, but she was doing cardio kickboxing.
That's not anything.
No, you go ride a bike. It's the same thing. You're not learning how to fight. You're learning how to get exercise.
Yeah. It's incredible, like how much it matters who you put your trust in. You know, not just that, but everything. But like you could spend years learning like that. You know that it's a very, very famous video at this point now. The guy going like, Aikido is better than BJJ.
Oh yeah.
And then he's like, because of this and that and this and that. And he's reasoned it all out.
Ponytail guy.
And then he just gets his ass whooped.
Like he gets like 4 leg kicks and then like pushed up against the fence, and he's just like, and like he's like, I quit. I was like, yeah.
Like imagine, like it's one thing to get your ego crushed in a reputable jiu-jitsu club where like, okay, maybe you're just not that good. Maybe you're still learning. Maybe got, some guy's bigger than you or whatever. Cool. But imagine the ego crash of like, I spent 20 years learning Aikido, and I think it's just like I just think I'm the coolest guy, and I have the best martial art.
I know how to defend myself against all the other martial arts.
And I have these like, like dark secrets of, the ancient martial artists.
Knows how to use chi.
And then someone just comes and is like, no, bam.
Yeah.
Like
there's a guy in Japan that just goes around and he challenges like the top people in all these like wushu, tai chi, whatever it is. And like these guys that are at the top literally think that like they're gonna win.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for like 40 years or whatever. And this guy that's pretty old comes in. He has an MMA background, and he's like, and the one guy is like making a chi ball. He's just like, oh, dude, and he just gets rocked in the face. I was like, good.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's coming from a guy that if
it were possible,
man, I would be 100% behind that, and I'd be throwing out kamehamehas all over the world. I would be that guy. It's not possible. I'm sorry. I wish it was. I truly, to the deepest point of my heart, wish that I could make a cheat ball and throw that shit at someone and be like, yeah. It doesn't happen. Sorry.
I think and like we're getting way off topic here, but like, I think what's super interesting to me about that is the collective agreement on the illusion, which is like we everyone in the club participates in this illusion that the chi ball thing is real. And then all it takes is an outsider to come in and be like, no, I can actually just punch you in the face.
It's that weird culty hypnosis kind of thing where you're just like, yeah, it is real. And like, I'm sure at a stage of my life when I was really young, I would have been like, it did it.
Yeah,
totally. but like you have to have
Yeah.
an ounce of what would it be? I don't know. But you'd have to be like, no.
Yeah.
Like as much as I wanted to happen.
It doesn't
It ain't.
happen. Like, so one time I dislocated my shoulder skateboarding. I dropped into a bowl and lost my footing, took like 3 steps, and then smashed into the wall, dislocated my shoulder. And like, however, like whatever, it was like a day later or something. I'm like, it was only partially dislocated, so there was nothing they could do. It just still looks all fucked up. But I met a guy through another guy. We were sitting and having a beer, and he's like, "Oh, well, I can help you. I'm
Reiki.
I think it was Reiki." And he was like, "I can help you. I know Reiki." And he's like doing this, and he's like, "Does that feel like it's getting hot?" I'm like, "No. No."
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I was kind of like, "Oh, like, because you don't want to be a dickhead, right?" So you're like, "Yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah, that kind of does feel better."
Now
But,
he's
like,
gonna go to the next guy and go,
yeah.
I can do it.
But like in my mind, I'm like, this is insane. Like, yeah. A guy I know surfing in Bali, he dislocated or like ripped out his bicep muscle.
Oh yeah.
He was holding onto his board and it went like this and his bicep ripped and it was like turning blue and purple. There was like this is definitely not the right term, but like a local kind of
Chi master.
witch doctor type person in this like small village, and she's like takes a water bottle and like blesses the water bottle and like says a thing, sprinkles it on his arm, and she's like, that's better now. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe it does feel better, I guess. Next day he had to fly home and get surgery.
Yeah.
It's like the sprinkly water thing doesn't work. Sorry.
I now that being said, it's like the placebo effect on some things, right? If you believe and like,
Yeah.
there's like things to say like about positive self-talk and stuff and
Sure.
like all that, and like the placebo can help heal some things.
Sure.
But like, I mean, a torn bicep, yeah, you're gonna have to go get surgery because that thing is gonna curl up like a fruit roll up into your arm, and then
Totally.
then it can never reattach. Like if you leave it too long,
Yeah.
it curls up and then it's just up there.
Yeah.
And then like they can't pull it back
Yeah,
down.
that's nuts.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah. I digress.
we'll have to do. We haven't done an episode about McDojo, have we?
No, we probably should.
We should, yeah, because we can go on about that for hours.
Yeah, I actually like, that was one of the very first ones I started training in. It was like a Japanese jiu-jitsu.
Oh yeah.
But there was some McDojo-y kind of things. It's like, oh, if they get from behind you, elbow them in the sternum, punch them in the nose, then hit them in the nuts.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if they're behind you, they're probably just going to whip you down to the ground and punch you in the face a whole bunch of times. Like,
yeah.
But yeah.
So much to say about that stuff, but we'll save that for another episode. I just like when I was young, and I did a bunch of other stuff. I did like taekwondo. I did a little bit of like kickboxing. I did like a little bit of jiu-jitsu. I probably
the
like
armbar king,
armbar king of Vancouver.
Yeah.
But especially when I was like 12, 13, like 10, 11, 12, 13. That's when like the Black Belt magazine stuff was out there, and it was like the guys on the cover like this and stuff. So anyways,
and Chuck Norris had his jeans,
the action jeans, Chuck Norris action jeans. We should see if we can find a couple pairs of those and test them out.
I would.
We should test them out on the mat.
I wonder if they're still there.
We should look for it.
Let's try and find this.
Okay.
Just with all the revenue that we're making,
so
podcast,
much revenue.
definitely buy some.
Totally.
Chuck Norris jeans.
We could probably just hire Chuck Norris to. Okay, so getting back to our actual topic of the day, true or false, blue belt is the most important crux of your jiu-jitsu journey?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. I would say there's two of the most important stages in anyone's thing, and that's one, getting up off the couch and going into the gym.
Right.
And then two is that journey through blue belt,
Yeah.
and it should be hard. It should
Yeah.
be. What another thing that happens at blue belt is, if you're a white belt, all the color belts are letting you work pretty nice to you. They're not wrecking you. Once you get that blue belt, it's kind of like, okay, let's take off the bandage. Let's take off the training gloves.
What's it called?
Training wheels.
The delimiter or whatever. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, right. We're taking off the training wheels, and now we're gonna go. And you get beat up.
Yeah.
And you're like, I thought I knew stuff. I thought I knew how to defend myself. But you do, just not against the guys that know how to beat you up better than you know how to defend yourself.
Right.
Why? Because they probably taught you how to defend yourself. They have all the cheat codes. They're going to know how to beat you up.
Yeah.
Once you get the blue belt, the gloves are kind of off. They're not fully off, but you get beat up more. And you're like, I thought I was done getting beaten up.
Yeah.
But
nope.
No, you get
surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah, you're yet again the nail.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You thought that you're becoming the hammer. You're the hammer to the untrained dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're now the guinea pig for like the purples and browns to play around with and see what their stuff works. Like how well their stuff works.
Yeah.
And it's rough. It's terrible. I've seen it so many times that people just get so distraught when they're like, oh, I thought I actually tapped that purple or brown belt or whatever. And it's like, no. They were being nice. They were letting you work, or they were working their defense and they just got caught. That's part of the deal. You get caught when you're working your defense.
Yeah.
You should tap a whole bunch of times forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, some people just can't handle like that. Oh, I thought I was awesome.
Yeah, the ego shock.
Again in it. It just keeps happening every single time.
Another thing too is like, I would call it a drop in novelty, where it's like, oh, this is going to be a lifelong grind.
Yeah.
And there's going to be lots of days where it sucks. There's going to be lots of days where you feel like you're regressing. I'm not like, when you're a white belt, you're like, oh my God, every day is like, I just got plugged into the matrix.
Yeah.
You know,
I know jujitsu.
No, Emmett, show me. Fucking show me.
Do something. Stop breathing heavy.
I thought I was showing you. But so, but then at blue belt, a certain point, you're like, at certain points, it's like the novelty is not there. It's like, it's the realization that this is the real realization.
Yeah.
Not just the intellectual realization, but the long-term realization that like, but I think what you're saying
that sparked the curiosity again.
Recreate that novelty by focusing on specific things and taking the initiative to do so. Right. Yeah.
I think that's a extremely important step.
Yeah.
For blue belts and like purple belts. Purple belts, you can hit that too. You can still hit that, like that long stage. A lot of purple belt is one of the longest belts.
Yeah.
Right. Fuck. Yeah, I know, right? Just another step. But it's cool to see the sparks of realization, where even if it's a sequential movement that you're trying to do, like get from bottom half to back control.
Yeah.
And how you get there. And then seeing that spark of, oh, it's an easy little step, but I've been overlooking it.
Yeah.
It's cool to see the people realize that and then dive right into it and be like, oh, I'm going to go hard and I'm going to just let the white belt get into my half guard and then rep it a million times.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the coolest things about coming up. And started out the club as a 3-stripe white belt and working up from there, is everyone was on my heels all the time. Like there was never a huge distance
right
up until like people start falling off or moving away or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there became a gap, but everyone was right there kind of on me. So I never had the
Yeah, you could never sit on your heels or whatever.
Yeah, I
is.
always had to like keep going and try.
Yeah.
Or we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah. No, that's interesting. Like, yeah, you can't have your students surpass you.
No, and like in certain areas for sure. But in my mind, I was like, if I'm going to be showing this and teaching this and running this club, I need to be learning as much as I can. And learning how to teach is another big thing for what I do, but that's beyond what we're talking about.
What about reframing the I suck, like reframing it as like you're, because legitimately, I don't know if you remember this, but there's definitely times, me and Jason were talking about this the other day, where you're like, I'm getting worse. But I think part of that is you're getting more honest with yourself about where you're at. But only in getting honest with yourself can you find those things, those parts of the path where you're like, oh, this is what keeps happening over and over again. This is the frustration point. I got to fix that. And then, it's not luck getting to these other parts. It's like you have to be honest about your ability and being able to say, like, this is where I suck.
And rebuilding.
Yeah.
If you think that you have a great path, but it only works on white belts, you're going to have to rebuild that path so it works on the lower, like the lower blue belts, and like works for you. And that is a constant thing.
Yeah.
Rebuilding it or looking into different ways of concepts of how, like looking at breaking down the spinal alignment kind of thing and understanding those concepts beyond that.
Yeah.
And I think that that's an important step too.
Yeah.
But yeah, just that breaking down and being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
The one thing that I've been kind of yelling at people lately is that negative self-talk. I suck. It's like, no. And you can't have that, because I truly believe that your body listens to you. Like, maybe subconsciously or whatever, it listens to every negative thing that you say.
Right. So you're like, stop saying you suck, stupid.
Yeah, right? Oh, I'm stupid. Yes.
You are stupid, but you don't suck.
Yeah. But like that negative self-talk, you need to, like, in everything, everything that you do.
You gotta eliminate it.
Yeah, and that will drive you forward so much faster than anything else. I'm very pro like positive self-talk or realistic self-talk.
Yeah.
Where you're like, okay, I might not be that good at that, but I'm going to get better.
Yeah.
I'm going to research this. I'm going to look at understanding it better.
Yeah.
Understanding it in a way that I can actually like retain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that that's a way better way of going through this and going through life. I mean, the negative self-speech is so easy, and the negativity in the world is so vast.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah. So just being able to have that positive talk with yourself, I think that enriches your soul, or whatever. It enriches your self-conscious to being like, oh, I can do that.
Yeah. Right? You're right. I am good at jiu-jitsu. That's what you said, right? That's what I'm taking from that.
Yeah. Hopefully everyone just listens and doesn't see my face of. Yeah. Like, oh.
Did you see that thing I sent you, the Instagram thing about how they studied whether or not it's real or not, but they were studying people's brains, and people who do jujitsu, like their frontal lobe develops more or whatever.
Yeah. I've seen that before a few times, and it was pretty cool. It was cool. And like, they did it for adults and kids, right? And they showed how it developed for the kids to expand it. And, like,
man, I really, I know we talked about this because we did our episode about kids. I have seen Sawyer, my son, who's almost 6. His self-confidence has grown so much from doing jiu-jitsu. And first time today, he was like, "Can I start going on Wednesdays too?" Part of me was like, "Oh fuck."
now you have to.
I have like it'll be like 12 hours of jujitsu on Monday and Wednesdays. I still don't have my fucking purple belt. But like
I might give you your 5th stripe.
there you go.
Okay.
Actually, I think I only have 3 stripes, so
I know.
we can meet in the middle.
I was
like
thinking, I was actually thinking about giving it to you, and then I was like, no, we have an episode about blue belt blues, and that'll just give him a spark of happiness, and I can't have
no,
that.
I can't have that. Gotta have him blue. But yeah,
That's the kind of good coach I am.
like it's like a reality show where you're like, I think Jason was talking shit about you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it like I don't know, like part of it I would probably credit to him just getting older and getting bigger and stuff. But like just doing things like even the warm-up stuff, like army crawl,
I've seen him.
somersaults.
He's looking way better.
He's a
That's
different
cool.
he's got a different level of
self-confidence and understanding. Like he's like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
Before I felt like he was a little bit like, oh, I don't know, I can't.
Yeah.
And like he did a lot of I can't.
Mm.
Now he's like showing kids.
Yeah.
He was like showing
yeah, cool.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. Like every now and then I just poke my head and watch him.
Yeah.
He's doing
it. And Ziggy's a little bit ahead of him. I think Ziggy's a really athletic kid.
Yeah.
But he also like he comes twice a week, and I think he has 3 stripes now. Yeah. And I think like Sawyer doesn't really like care about stripes, but I think he sees Ziggy and he's like, I think I would like to catch up.
Yeah, I think I care a little bit more now.
Yeah. So that's cool. That's that fire behind you, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
snap back to reality there.
Yeah, but I think like I think I really like that the way of looking at it, that you have to just like start being honest with yourself about like what, not only like where am I, but what are the specific issues that I can solve in order to get to that next step,
and what do I need to rebuild to get back to having it like an A game. Like say my A game was triangles,
right?
And then they start sucking. Well, it can still be your A game. You just have to restructure it and understand why they have started to fail or what. And sometimes it's because you've caught the same damn white belt 100 times.
And they're like, fuck this shit.
Yeah. And then they start studying the defense to it. And now you have to game plan the next step. And like, there's a whole bunch of like that back and forth. And that's why like a pet white belt is always the greatest thing. Because if you have a pet white belt, they're going to ask you a bunch of weird ass questions.
Yeah.
One that you're going to have to be like, I don't know, but I'll find out. And then they start to like, if you roll them a whole bunch, they start to figure out your game a little bit. And then it makes your game have to get better.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I just figuring out those. Oh, you know what I was going to say? I think the other thing that you can, as a blue belt, that you can derive, or that you can like really derive some pleasure from, and some like, I don't know, a little bit of that spark and excitement, is not just having like sure, build your fundamental game plan, but have 1 or 2 marquee hot shot moves that you can do.
Yeah.
That you're like, oh my God, I fucking hit that. I'm like, that's awesome. I want to check the tape and see that,
Dude, in my blue belt days, that was Peruvian necktie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Peruvian necktie. And then like, I don't know, I call it the mean Gary choke, where like you punch your own lapel across their neck and then you do a spinny move and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Just because it is a highlight reel if it works.
Yeah. So mine has been that one Kimura trap spin around thing. I've hit it on a few people that I'm like, I hit that on you? Yeah. I mean, I don't wind up like closing the deal and submitting them usually, but like, although I have, but it's like, whoa, holy shit, that was crazy. That worked. So I think like that's a good way to spark some excitement too.
Totally. That's a good way to keep going with it. It's a cool thing. Actually, I think I forgot to mention injuries are another big thing that makes people quit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that would probably be up there with 1 or 2
yeah.
on that list, because as a white belt, yeah, you're take little tiny injuries usually, but at blue belt you take, sometimes you can take a little bit bigger injuries. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Knock on wood, but that's another potential, and it's just time in the game,
Yeah.
right?
And man, like it, even being sick, getting sick, you know, like I was sick from January to mid-February, you know? And it's just like you can't come train. Like maybe you get a couple days where like I'm feeling good, but then you get sick again because you're overdoing it. And then it's like that's a bummer. It's a
Yeah,
bummer to like losing the flow. You know, it's like fuck this shit, man.
yeah, takes you out of it. Real quick, we're gonna look at this beer.
Oh yeah.
It's well, near beer, non-alcoholic, Death Wave. It's the Sea Change Brewing Co.
Yeah.
Where's this one out of?
You know, I'm not sure. We'll have to put it in the notes.
Yeah. Out of Edmonton.
Oh, there you
Edmonton,
go.
Alberta.
Yeah.
Okay, so if this one was pretty good.
Yeah, I really like the artwork too on the can.
It's like a
super
surfing
surfing skeleton
skeleton.
holding his own head.
But yeah, if you like your non-alcoholic beers, this is a non-alcoholic lager.
Yeah.
So yeah, check them out.
Yeah, that's good.
They're definitely going to send us a free case after this promo.
For
'cause,
sure.
Damn, we are so good at it.
Revenue, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it's all about.
I also had a couple of questions about this. This is just Element, LMNT. It's just like a saltwater drink with all the fun stuff. And it is in a milk bottle from Sycamoose, BC.
There you go. Yeah.
Because one of my other students was like, wow, you're really a black belt. You just put your shit in random stuff and drink it. I'm like, yeah, I like my milk bottle.
Yeah.
Glass, it's nice.
Yeah.
And then I just put the sticker on there.
Yeah, I've been drinking some of that from time to time too.
I like it. I drink it every day. I
Nice.
think that I have like the one day that I didn't have it because we ran out and someone must have stole the box or whatever. I got a cramp. I was like, wow, I haven't felt a cramp in my leg in a long
Oh, someone stole your box of Element?
Yeah, it said delivered and then it was
Oh fuck,
gone.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's lame, dude.
Like I was like, oh. So then we had to like emergency order some because I'm like probably addicted to this stuff.
So speaking of physical fitness and health,
Yep.
so that's another step that I've been taking the last like month and a half is like I know it's not about strength, but I think at some point if you're committing to being a jiu-jitsu athlete, whether you're a competitor or just a hobbyist, you got to commit to being stronger, to having some flexibility, to like having some kind of commitment to strength, you know.
Totally. I mean, I don't do much. I do a lot of kettlebell training, and I've been doing kettlebell training for like the last year and a half. But I don't do like the other stuff. Like I don't go to the gym and do that. But I truly think that building up the muscles around like my shoulders, around my knees and stuff, like squats and shoulder presses and hanging and stuff like that, has greatly reduced the amount of injuries. It's greatly reduced the amount of like groaning as I get out of bed.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah.
The whole like shoulder injury leading into the MMA fight really threw me for like a loop because I was like, oh, I can no longer fight out of my normal stance, which is southpaw.
And that wasn't this fight. It was like a previous
fights
fight.
ago.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, and I had to fight out of like orthodox, and I just got my leg handed to me, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, I don't fight out of this stance primarily. Like I switch, but yeah, so that shoulder injury really made me go, okay, I need to get a little bit more serious about this. I'm aging, I'm old, so it's like, okay, let's figure this out. So the kettlebell training has helped a lot.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's too bad you couldn't have started in the wrong stance and then done the Princess Bride thing. Been like, I have something to admit to you.
Actually,
I'm left-handed.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I do that often. Like in my other fights, I sometimes come out orthodox. Sometimes I'll come out southpaw, but I can fight out of both. I just don't like fighting out of one full time. and I had to fight out because I couldn't do anything with my right shoulder.
Right.
Yeah, sucked.
You know, that us talking about so physical fitness, check.
Yeah,
It's a
do
good,
it.
good
Start
thing.
it. Start it early.
Yeah.
I'm the worst example. I might be a good example because I started really late.
Yeah.
And I mean, my body's riddled with injuries.
Yeah.
I'm sure that if I would have started earlier,
You would have prevented some
yeah,
injuries.
because it builds up muscle around those areas that
Totally.
needs
Of
to
course.
be safe, right?
Totally.
So yeah, maybe I'm a good example of what not to do.
Yeah.
Start getting some, however you want to do it. I like my kettlebells. They, I don't know. There's a whole exercise routine that I was given, and I was like, cool, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
If you want to go to the gym and lift heavy, whatever, but
Yeah.
start taking care of your body for
Yeah.
sure.
That, you know, that thing we were talking about kind of writing out your systems. The thing I forgot to mention about that is, so when if people ever ask me, like, you know, I'm thinking about changing jobs, or if they're put in the position to where they have to change jobs, you know, like they've been laid off or whatever, I genuinely, like, the biggest piece of advice I give to people is take stock of your accomplishments, right? Because what winds up happening when you're changing jobs, especially if you're forced into a situation where you have to look for another job, is that negative self-talk kicks in and you're like, I'm not good at anything. Who the fuck would hire me? I was lucky to have the job I even had, you know, like that kind of stuff. But when you take stock of your accomplishments and you write them out, it's like, oh, I've actually done a lot and I know how to do a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that similarly with jujitsu, if you're like, okay, what's working for me? What do I know? What do I really know? And what do I like? And what has, like, really worked for me? And writing that out and then putting it into systems, it gives you the realization that, oh, okay, yeah, I might be having issues with certain things, but it's not the black hole of despair that I thought it was. You know, it's like, oh, okay, I actually do know how to do a few things, and, like, I feel confident with these things. So I think from a, not just from a utilitarian perspective, but from a psychological health perspective, it's an important thing to do.
Yeah. I think what I like to do with blue belts is make them teach one class. Why? Because it makes them go, and I go, you need to teach something that you know. Pick something. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be the most basic mount escape ever.
Yeah.
But if you're really good at it and you know it front and back, that's what you're going to teach. And it makes them go, okay. And then it makes them game plan an idea of teaching. How would I teach this to someone that's brand new, that's never done this before?
Yeah.
And then they start to realize, okay, I actually do know this. I do know this. Or they go, okay, I'm going to shift it from this fancy thing that I was going to do to this basic thing
Right.
that I know how to do.
Yeah. Not me. I taught the fancy thing.
Yeah. But that's where you go. And however you do it, at least it makes you realize, oh, I do know this point. I can probably get that knowledge in another area. I can get it in every area that I want to.
Yeah.
And that's the coolest thing, I think.
What about things like readings, being able to, like, and speaking again specifically about, like, helping people who are feeling stuck at blue belt, looking at whatever tools they can gather or improve upon to make that transition? Things like reading situations and, like, decision making based on, you know, those subtle little signs and things like that.
I think that starts to come about once you start to realize the position that you're in. Once you start to get really good at the position that you're in, say bottom half guard, and you've spent a lot of time in there, that's when you can start to predict from those little movements, from what their legs are doing, from what their feet are doing, from wherever they're positioning, right?
And gauging the ability level of your partner.
Yeah. Yeah, white
your
belts are
opponent,
just gonna try and smash their forearm into your neck or shoulder into the neck or whatever, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
sure. And then like blue belts are probably gonna be trying to set you up for something, right? And then purple belts are definitely setting you up for something that they want to do 3 steps ahead of you, right? So it's one of those things that put time in the area that you want. Not just okay, we're gonna spar over and over and over and over. Put time,
Yeah.
active time, and be like, hey, talk to your training partner. Be like, hey, can we start in back mount? Start in back mount, have them full backpack, and go.
Yeah.
And just see what happens, and then just keep calculating those reactions and going, okay, well, they're doing this, they're doing this, they're doing this. Defeat it this way, this way, this way.
Yeah.
Start in bottom half. Be like, hey, can I start in bottom half? And if they're like, oh yeah, sure. And then work from there.
Yeah.
Work in specific positions until you understand it. It's a great technique. It's a great know-how. It's a lot easier than being like, okay, I'm going to guide them to my back. Why do I say that's a lot easier to start there than try to guide someone to so you can start to learn how to defend off your back? Because once you get if you're doing that with a white belt and you're a blue belt, they're like, it's a trap. If you're a blue belt and you're doing it with the purple, brown, black, it's a trap. I'm not going to take that. And it's like, no, I want to work out of back mount. But everyone thinks it's a trap, right? Because well, it's justified because it probably was a trap 100 times. But now I want to work this area.
So just skip the subterfuge and
just start.
Sounds good. And then I think the other thing too is like, and kind of where I was going with that is things like, so say we were joking about that the other day about pressure, where it's like you want to hear the but like sometimes you don't. So like, but like learning to kind of pick up the signals of like, is this thing working that I'm doing? Should I wait it out? You know, think even think concepts like being patient. Like you don't have to keep moving. You can just cook. Just cook, man.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm playing this new thing with a few people where it's no pressure, not even like chest to chest, and I'm in top half, and I just like try to shut down hips and shoulders without any pressure. I don't want to like squish them. I don't want to like drive my head into their neck. I am just letting them cook themselves without any pressure.
Oh,
it's a pretty cool.
What belts are you doing that on? All?
Everyone.
Oh, really? Okay. That's not what you were doing to me the other day. That was,
no.
That was like,
there's some people that I'm just like, oh yeah, you asked to be tested.
Yeah, that was, I don't know what I was thinking about that. That's like, I'd like to do things the hard way. Can we do it the hard way? Yeah. So I think like maybe kind of coming towards the end of our conversation for the day here. Blue belt, I think, feels like you're getting worse, maybe in part because you stop lying to yourself. You're starting to see the gaps. You're starting to also understand how deep it goes, and you're starting to make some, if you catch hold of your negative thoughts, you can start to make some decisions about what you want to do, like what you want your game to be, who you want to be as a jiu-jitsu athlete, what your game plan looks like. And I think, to put it another way, maybe this is where you stop collecting moves and doing jiu-jitsu randomly and start doing it a bit more intentionally.
Yeah. I think I think that everyone goes through it, but there's ways to mitigate it. There's ways to deal with it. I think the only way, unless like you're in like a mega gym where the coach doesn't know your name, but if you're in a good gym and the coach knows who you are and all that stuff, the only way like to move forward, ask questions, be open with your training partners, with your coach, and be like, hey, I'm stuck. I feel like I'm at a plateau. I feel like I'm regressing, whatever. Be honest with yourself, talk to someone and be like, yeah, let's work through this. What do you want to work on? The only way for that not to work is if you're like the dickhead, and like
Yeah.
if you're a dick and you're like, I don't know, nobody really wants to work with you. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, there's a reason behind that.
Yeah.
Be better. Like,
Yeah.
don't rip stuff when you don't have to.
Yeah.
Be a good training partner, and training partners will help you.
Yeah.
If you're an asshole training partner or whatever, you're just not going to get it. So, yeah, look in the mirror. Hopefully, you're a good person. By blue belt, you're getting better. So stick with it. Talk with your coaches.
Yeah.
Talk with your teammates. Talk with higher belts. And then, yeah, beat up white belts.
I think that idea too of like, it's not like just a sort of nebulous, like overarching I suck. Find the specific things that are causing you frustration,
Yeah,
and address them.
Yeah.
Because they'll be happening over and over again. You know what I mean?
And find the direction that you want to go. Right.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're Jason, because then you just suck.
Yeah. No, he sucks.
He
I mean,
just-
be more like Avon. We had to mention Avon.
Oh, Avon. Yeah. She's good.
Yeah. She's
Jason-
awesome. Yeah. Jason sucks.
Jason sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And Danielle can't defend a Darce.
Oh.
Just saying.
So, like, no Darce Danielle or something?
Yeah.
Is that-
Yeah. We gotta. We'll pick a good nickname.
Okay.
She's gonna hate it.
She's gonna be mad.
Yeah, she's gonna come in and just like wrestle. She's gonna shoot double legs on all of us.
To give Danielle a compliment, man, she absorbs
shut down.
she absorbs so much information about jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
to where I'm like, look, dude, I know how to do 3 things. Stop talking to me about this like insanely complex thing that I know you know how to do. But I just like I get
Emmett's like, I'm working on breathing out right now.
but like,
I got the breathing in.
yeah, I can do pressure, I can do half guard. Beyond that, just I won't understand what you're talking about. So
Yeah, no, she's awesome. She can retain quite a bit, and she comes with interesting questions, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, I'm getting stuck here. I'm like, yeah, you are.
yeah.
She's like, how can I fix that? I'm like, let's go through it. Let's play. Let's and like it's like teaching her how to beat me and my game. Essentially, that's how it feels like every time. She's like, yeah, I'm getting stuck here. I'm like, yeah, I know. I put you there.
Yeah.
She's like, how do I not?
I have daydreams about the day that I trick you into something and then sub you. I'm just like, I know it'll never actually happen, but like,
I love that it's a dream.
yeah. And it's like, oh man, then I'm like, but I don't actually have an actual plan. It's just like, that's a nebulous thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'll trick him into doing something. But yeah.
It's like when you wake up and you're gonna write down your dream, but you can't remember what the dream was, and you're like, I can't remember what the submission was, but I had the feeling that I subbed him.
What it's actually going to be is I'm going to be like, Travis, come outside. There's an emergency. Hit you with my car.
Leg lock.
Yeah. Then get out and sub you. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Great episode. Nice to be back. Hopefully, I keep saying the things are going to slow down, but there's a little more than a month and a couple weeks left in ski season, and things should start to chill out.
Yeah.
So.
I should be officially retired from MMA. I won my last fight, and
Nice.
yeah, all done. Just jiu-jitsu now, so
Nice.
yeah, hopefully, and coaching Jonah. He's fighting at Rumble in the Cage, so get your tickets. He's gonna go in and kick some ass, put on an entertaining fight.
Yeah.
That entire card looks good, top to bottom. So Rumble in the Cage, April 11th. Get after it.
Nice.
Cool. Other than that, we'll catch you on the flip side. Emmett out.